And I'm going to share my screen. All right, so here's my agenda that I'm going to go over. And the first question is, why are you here, right? And so to me, why I'm here is I need to make money. I need to replace an income. I need to continue to travel like I love to do. You already know my trigger point is travel. I don't care about nothing else but traveling and being debt free. And those of you who have known me for a long time know that those are my two goals. My cousin used to tease me about how on invoice day, I'd be like, girl, I wrote an invoice, right? That's my thing. So I want to make money, and I want to, now that I have Zion, there's a whole nother element. But why are you here? The bottom line is anyone that is in this business is here to make money. You want to help people, certainly. I know Scotty, that's a big driver for him. You want to help yourself, certainly. But this is not a volunteer effort. This is a business. So when you talk to new agents and people that want to be in the business, right? They respond to your thing, agent. You need to make sure that who you're talking to, you need to be able to immediately sort through the people that talk to you about what you're doing and why they want to do the business, right? This is not just a, feel good business. This is a business, right? So Amazon's a business. They're driving revenues. Any place you shop, they have a revenue goal, they have a sales goal, they may even have a corporate vision, which includes philanthropy and doing things for fun and for free. But at the end of the day, this is a business. And so I want you to make sure that as you're thinking about what you do daily, you're always thinking about targeting yourself for business. Everything is business, right? And that's a mind shift if you're an employee. If you work for someone else, you go in there and you're like, I was talking to Sibit the other day. She goes to work at Ford, gets up at Ford. She's in. I'm like, I know for a fact people there at Ford, they're not thinking about it from a business perspective. They're like, let me just go ahead and get this money and go ahead and get back home and take me a nap, right? This is business and it's yours. So let's think about it that way. The second thing is, what did you buy into? You literally bought into your future. So if you're not willing to invest the words that you say and the things that you write and the things that you listen to and the things you read into this business, you're in the wrong business, because A, it's easy to do. It's a simplistic program and product, and you don't have to do most of the heavy lifting, right? So make sure everything you're thinking about, just think about the fact that I used to sell women's garments, undergarments, Lavelle, and I have a whole tote full of stuff, probably $800 worth of stuff in my garage now, and I did that 5 years ago. I had inventory. This is not that. You're buying into a system that just helps people get better, including yourself. So my agenda for today is to go over the Google Drive, some trainings and meetings document, the launch document, which I know no one on this call has gone through with me because I was negligent in going over this launch document with you. So although you may have downloaded it, we didn't go over it. And I'm going to spend a little time on that today because this is critical. And again, when I went to the meeting on Saturday, it was obvious that a lot of the agents in that room had never even seen it. Or if they seen it, they never did it. And there are people that brought them in didn't do it. So the launch document really is a back to basics. We'll also talk about the PBR and some details about that. We'll talk about new agents and what mindset matters. And then I'll share some work from anywhere tips. So the Google Drive, and if you don't have access to the Google Drive, please let me know. Because I need you to have access to that. Hold on just a second. You need to download it to your phone and you need to create an FES drive for yourself. And on your laptop. So everyone on my team should have, and actually a couple people on Jennifer's team should have access to this. And there is a lot of information in here. And so from the Google Drive, you should be able to just search. So when you look at, how you get to it, there is shared with me. So if I shared my drive with you, until you download it to your phone and actually create your own Google Drive, which you can do, it's going to be in your shared with me right here. Everyone can see that? Thumbs up. All right, so you click on shared with me, and you'll be able to see all the things that I have shared with you, right? And until you save it or copy it off to yourself, that's when it shows up in my drive. Okay, hold on, I see a chat. Okay, thank you, Jen. So as an example, and I left this here on purpose, Sonia shared with all of us this, shared with me this script. I think she put it in the shared directory. So if I wanted to save this to myself, I right click on it and do add to my drive, right? And then once I add it to my drive, I can put it in the file structure that I wanted. So if I click on add to my drive, now I go back to my drive. You see how Momentum Scripts is here? I can just drag it right into FES. And now all of you have access to the Momentum Scripts. Does that make sense? So shared with me is where you'll see my drive. It's called FES. And then you just right click on it and share it to yourself or move it to your drive. Okay? So in FES, tons of information. Please, I often will update the scripts. So if you save the scripts off, that's fine. But remember that these are living documents. So I will often come back in and modify a script. And sometimes I'll put it in the in our group chat when I've modified it, right? So I just want you to be aware that this is not a dead document. This is a living, breathing document. Take my information out, put yours in, and send it off. All right, this is a potential client email. So basically when somebody says, just send me an email, just send me an email, this is what I send them. And then I follow up and say, did you get it? Can we talk? Right? And so go through this document, save it off as your own, and change all of these links to your own links. All right, and so there's all types of scripts in here. And if you're looking for something specifically, type in 1 through 10, for instance, and you'll find what you're looking for. So a lot of people keep saying, I can't find it in the Google Drive, I can't find it. Just when I say look for the corporate script, just type in, you should be able to get to it anyway. Type in script, and you'll find all the scripts in the drive that match that search. Okay, so use your search bar, excuse me, to get through the Google Drive. All right, so that's the first topic that I want to discuss. Any questions about the Google Drive? Unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay. The next topic that I wanted to discuss is trainings and meetings. All right, so I know that Cappy Singh spent a lot of time in training her first 2 weeks. For FES, success with FES.com, you need to make sure you're logging in with your back office business user name and password. When you log in here, Exhibit, this is especially important for you. You're going to want to go through each tab, right? So getting started as a new agent, here's how to set up all of your information. And Sibit, you and I will have a separate discussion about this specifically. The quick start has a lot of information about your back office. The video library is chock full of information about our products and services, about how to market, about how to make money, right? About YFL, about business offices and reports, how to use your back office to get to understanding your business, right? So the successwithfes.com platform, you log in with your FES user ID, and there's a ton of information. You also can search here. So if you're looking for oh, that didn't work. Okay, something's going on with the search function. But so in the video library, you can just scroll through and see information. All right, so that's success with FES. There also is Momentum Society. And Momentum Society is the organization that the head of our line in FES, this is their website. Momentumsociety.net. And so when you first come to this site, you want to make sure that you register by joining now, and then you do the login. I happen to set this to the same as my FES, but you don't have to. You can use whatever you want. I think I went over that with you yesterday, Sibit. And then under events and trainings, there's all types of information about the training webinars, the team calls, the nightly overviews, the live credit seminars and opportunity meetings, right? So this portal gives you a lot of ideas and information about how to run your business. And again, some of this information I've already pulled. In fact, I think all of this information is in my training docs. But again, if you can't remember where to go, you've got many, many places to go. You can go to Google Drive, you can go to Momentum Society, you can contact one of us to get this information. So you'll see their surge events, etc. Right, so this was the last surge event. The upcoming one, they're all posted here. There's also nightly recurring events that are posted over here. So if you're trying to get somebody in the business, or even agents or clients that need to understand FES, right? They say, you know what, I need a lot more information than you're giving me. Come to Momentum Society. Don't get lost. Just come to Momentum Society and get them on one of these credit seminars. All right, these are old ones, but they typically have the same. Don't struggle with finding the answer for them. Just get them on a seminar. It's not showing the July ones. I'm not sure what's going on here. If you need me to stop or go slower, so it's not, I don't know why it's not showing the July ones, but you can also find that information in the back office under conference call. There also are corporate conference calls that are listed here. Okay, and so here there are Tuesday calls and Thursday calls this week, and generally speaking, there's a conference call every day. So if you need help and you can't get to somebody, or you just have somebody who wants to get on the call and doesn't want to do a three-way call, get them to a conference call. Super, super important. And I think I actually have the conference call listed on the bottom of your new client email that I sent out. I think I listed all the conference calls on there. All right, so the annual conference can be found at fesconvention.com. Hold on, Jennifer. Go ahead and unmute your phone and ask your question.
Okay, thank you. And just for clarification purposes, Dawn, when you say get them on a webinar, and you are referencing a webinar that has already taken place, are you referring to copying the link and sending the link of the webinar to the individual?
Correct. That's
Okay.
exactly right. So that's a good clarification. Thank you for that. So in some cases, it's a webinar that has a conference link, like a Zoom link or something like that. And in some cases, it's just a telephone conference call. So either way, you need to get that information to them for the day that you're inviting them. Thanks, Jen. All right, so the annual conference is here. Listen, this team, I'm going to show you a picture in just a second of the leaders of our organization. I'll do that right now. Anybody see something wrong with this picture? Scotty, I know you don't. Maybe you do, but I need for us to be up there. I know that Alyssa will be, and there's lots of women in our organization in senior leadership, right? So this is VP, this is actually VP and actually this was SVP and above, or RVP, I can't remember which, but I need for all of us to get here. And part of the way that you get there is by training, right? And so please put this on your calendar, February 8th through 10th, 2019. You can register right now. Registration is actually relatively inexpensive. $198 for the registration, not including your travel and your hotels, right? At Planet Hollywood. So please don't miss an opportunity to put yourself in position to go to conventions, to see what the company is doing. And this is actually the national convention for FES. The Momentum Society also has their own regional convention, and that's what I was showing you before. So I want you to just put yourself in position, invest in your business, and get to convention. Now, since I'm talking about convention, let me talk about one more thing. The FES Cruise Contest is actually started on May 20th. And the cruise contest is based on points, right? And so you get points based on what your production is and what your team looks like for the time period of the cruise contest. So when you click on Ready, Set, Sail, you'll get to the cruise information, the rules and requirements, and you'll also get to your point tracker. So this is my point tracker for me, and it actually shows where I am with my production. So the top 65 cruise point earners will go on the cruise next year. So this is a quick way to get a nice cruise on the company, but it's based on production. So you want to make sure that you take a look at the cruise contest. All right. So we talked about training, we talked about the cruise contest and the annual conference. All right, so the launch document. So I sent this out to Sibit yesterday, and it's in my Google Drive. Under training docs. And I need for everyone, if you do not have this on your desk, I need you to get this and print it out. And we're going to, this is what, when you bring new agents into the business and we need a reminder about how you get to where you're going, this is the document. It's sitting on my desk, and it's a reminder about what I need to do for my business on a daily basis. So Alyssa always says, every single Sunday, you're a new agent. So don't get caught up on what you did last week, because every Sunday, you need to start again. And every month, then you start again. So this launch document, sorry, that's the 1 through 10. That's the new agent checklist, launch document, right, on my desk. And the new agent checklist on my desk, because these are the things that we need to make sure we do when we launch new agents. And so I'll point out there is an invite script. And so this is how you get people to get to your PBR. Your PBR can be, a PBR is a personal business reception, and it can be on the phone, it can be on a webinar, it can be in person. It can be at a Dunkin' Donuts, it can be at whatever you want. In fact, Alfred Nixon posted the other day, this was his first PBR, one of his first PBRs 5 years ago, somebody's house. He also posted pictures when we were there of him at a PBR at a Dunkin' Donuts, one at a Panera. It's You do it wherever you want, via webinar, whatever you want. And a PBR is important because you want to make sure that you get people to understand that you're seriously in business, that you believe in what you're doing, and that you and that you have something that they need, right? So that's his first, or one of his first PBRs, and there's him standing in front of his Bentley. So PBRs are important. But the invite script looks like this, and it's at the bottom here, where it says, hey, this is on the call. So you write your 20 contacts in here. You put when you want to have your first business meeting here, what time, your second business meeting here, if people can't make the first one. And then this is what you say to them. Hey, Sibit, I only have a minute. I just partnered up with some very successful people who have launched a huge movement. I thought about you. Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit or is open to earn some extra money? If it didn't interfere with what you're doing now, listen for the answer. Perfect. I can't promise you anything, but what are you doing on date and time? Date, time. We have to get together for about 30 minutes, right? So you already set the date and time. You have a secondary date and time, and then you show up, right? When you show up, so that's the launch document. And I know that I'm making it very simple, but the purpose of this call was specifically to talk about the PBR, how you get people from this top 20 contacts to your first personal business reception, wherever you want to have it, webinar, chat, in person, face-to-face, whatever you do, you need to do this. Every single new agent needs to do this because you're trying to get 20 people at one time, not talk to 20 people for 20 hours. Does that make sense? A PBR is an hour and a half only. That's including all of the fluff, right? Getting people there, getting them a cup of coffee, whatever. And then you go through your presentation. So this is how you get 20 people. It can be 5 people, it can be 3 people, but you've got to get people to see you in person via webinar, Skype, Facebook chat, whatever you do, this is how you do it. All right, this is your script. So everyone should be doing this. And I'm going to do it myself this week. And I'm going to videotape myself doing it because I need to dial for dollars this week. I need to get to my next level. And my next level right now, I make $380 per person I bring in, right? I need to get to my next level, right? So this is important. Questions about the launch document? Okay, so we've got 4 minutes and I'm going to go into the PBR now. So, and we're going to go back over the launch document because it's important. There also is a new agent checklist, which is important. But this script, I wanted to show you all specifically the script, the invite script. I need you to get on the phone, set your date. Webinar is fine. You've downloaded Zoom, create your free account. It's 45 minutes for free. Get people on a webinar if you can't get to them in person. All right, so the PBR. Uh-oh, let me plug up my computer. Hold on 2 seconds. Typically, you would have it during weeknights at 6:30, 7:30, or 8:30. On the on the weekends, you choose a time that works for you, and you just get people there. You may have to have 3. In fact, Alfred said that when he first started, he was having 3 PBRs a day. 3 every day, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. Oh, you can't make it at 6:30? Great. Can you make it at 7:30? No. Can you make it at 8:30? Get people on the phone, get people in front of you to learn about this information. So the order of business is this. The host welcomes your guest, opens and edifies the presenters. And so one of the documents in my Google Drive talks about edifying. I need you to look at this because you're going to be using this not only for your PBRs and for when you speak in public, but you'll also be using this for your when you on your 3-way calls, right? So you need to know how to edify your expert. For our team, your experts, right, are me, Jennifer, and Alyssa. If you use another person, you need to know some positive attributes for them, right? So for instance, Jabari is not in my immediate upline, but I know he's a top producer. He's inspired, he's motivated, he's a full-time agent, he knows how to get business. And so I would literally write down 5 attributes of Jabari, and I'd ask him to do a 3-way call with me, right? So here's some examples at the bottom of how to do it. You don't have to know them personally to know that they're excited, committed, and determined, or they went out in their first 30 days and got a promotion. For me, it was my first 41 days. I got 3 titles up in 41 days. So these are the kind of things you need to know about your experts. And by the way, a PBR should always have you and somebody who knows the business better than you. So that's a sales director or above. And that sales director or above can be via video chat. So everyone, please, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to restart the meeting. Okay, Jennifer, if you don't mind, hang up and get back on the meeting. It's 10:41. I'm going to take up 20 minutes more of your time. Let's get off the phone, get back on the phone. All right? Record. Okay, we are recording. All right, Jennifer, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So it's not anything like mind-boggling that I wanted to share, but it's in reference to edification, and it kind of goes hand in hand with some of the conversation that Sonia and I were just having. She was saying that our organization, our business, our network, our business partners, that it's very refreshing to her how we operate, how we share our materials and best practices, that there is not that crab in the barrel mentality. And that's very true. And I love that, Dawn, you are taking this moment to teach and expound upon how to edify your expert. And I think it's important because the edification piece is important. It is important in so many different ways and for so many different reasons why we should edify. We should not only edify our uplines, we should also edify our downlines, our business partners in general. The edification is not just, it is for ourselves, but it's for our customers when we are performing 3-way calls, when we are on webinars and performing business overviews. It shows our prospective clients, number one, that the person that they are about to hear from is qualified, they're an expert, they are professional, and that they are worthy of having the attention directed to them while they are sharing some information. Also, on the 3-way calls, it lets the participating caller, the prospect, to feel comfortable and understand that this person is somebody I should listen to. This person is somebody I should trust. And that's why it's so important to take the time to do this worksheet that Don is saying. It may seem a bit over the top, it may seem a bit much, but it's important. It's important to list out those characteristics because it makes you think, and for some people, it's given them something, a different perspective. Some people may feel like if you are uplifting somebody else, if you are edifying somebody else, if you are making somebody else better or sound better, that it takes from you. It does not. It does not take from your shine to make somebody else look better, to make somebody else sound better, to give somebody else some praise. It doesn't take anything from you at all. It does not rain on your parade. However, it actually puts you in a better light. So the more that you edify somebody else, you're actually edifying yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And it also, it's everything here is around duplication, right? We keep saying that, and I know it sounds rote to keep saying it, but when you edify, then the person you bring into the organization learns how to edify.
Exactly.
Very simply. And so on the next call, I want you all to, at the top of your notes, please remember to write edification and listen to the transition that happens between the person who opens the call and the person who is the speaker, and how they immediately re-edify the person who edified them. And that's the sequence of events. So the person who's the first speaker says, Dawn Clark is a tremendous asset to the organization. She has been my friend for 30 years. I trust her.
Yes.
I've known her. I believe in what she asked me to do. And since she asked me to do it, this is what I've been able to do. And then I'll say, thank you so much, Sibit, for bringing light to that. I am so thankful that I was able to go from field trainer to sales director in 2 weeks. And I was able, because then, and guess what? I'm so excited, Sibit, because you have always been a woman about business. You have always been able to translate an idea into action. These are some things that you can say without even actually knowing Jabari's last name, right?
Exactly.
So just think about on the next call, when you listen to the calls, think about how those transitions happen. And when I tell you it happened every single time on Saturday, every time somebody took the mic, they said, wow, I'm really thankful to be here, but let me just tell you about who just introduced me. And every single person then got a sense of that ownership of each other's success. Like you're showing that you're not a crab in the barrel, that, oh my God, right? So that's what edification is. This worksheet, I didn't even know it existed. And then I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I needed this. By the way, if you do this worksheet, you'll get over the fear of the three-way call. Because part of this three-way call fear, even for me, is that I didn't feel like I've known Jennifer for literally 27 years, but I still didn't know enough to edify her. Had I seen this worksheet, I immediately would have said, oh, I know her. She's motivated. She's inspired. She's passionate. She's well-educated. She's hardworking. We're both in IT. There's all types of things that you can start thinking about if you have this sheet to start thinking about it with. So download this sheet, make some notes, put Jennifer's name along the top, put Dawn's name along the top. You can call me Akua, whatever you call me. Make sure that you've got, because y'all all know me as Akua except for Nikki. Make sure you write the name on the top, write one for Jabari. Listen to what people say about Jabari. Listen to what people say about one of the other sales directors in the organization. That way you've got your notebook and you can go, oh my God, okay. I need Jennifer's edification form. Okay, she's this, she's that. And if you got a question, send Jennifer a message. When you ask her for three-way call, ask Jennifer to send you her edification points. I guarantee you she'll know it. If you don't, she will. Okay, so that's edifying the expert, super duper important. And when you start, again, when you're on these training calls, you'll start hearing this and you'll go, okay, now I know, now I got it. Now I hear it again and again and again. So please make sure you use edification. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, so that's step one. Step two, the 1 to 10 presentation with the video. So that's this sheet, the 1 through 10. When you're on the call with somebody, when someone's trying to become a client or an agent, your responsibility is this part of the paper. And if you have copy pasted, meaning from the scripts you've copy pasted in Facebook or Instagram or via text message, you will have covered pretty much everything in box 1 through 4. So please don't think you need to have this on your desk. You see, I've got it printed out. By the way, I didn't have it printed out for the first month and I was lost. Thank you, Captain Singh. I was lost when they said 1 through 10 because I refused to print it out. Please, this is your business. These are your business documents, print it out. And so your script, if you look at your script, you'll see all of this in your scripts. Almost all of it. I don't have debt-free company in it because sometimes that's less important for clients and more important for agents. So I may throw that in when I'm talking to agents. But everything, I don't put YFL in there because this is actually one of my follow-up points, especially if I know people that are in fraternal or organizations. I'll make sure they know that we've got the YFL Foundation, we've got the Family Mint, right? I throw those things in kind of as an adjunct to the original conversation. And number 4, the agent box, I will throw this in only if the person has identified that they need money or they're interested in learning about the agent. But anyway, the 1 through 4 is what you're going to need to share. And you almost always can get through this with your script. However, at a PBR or an in-person meeting, you want to go through the entire document. Okay, so this, when you go to a PBR, you need to have these laminated, and you can actually laminate this as well as, and I've only got this printed out in black and white, but you need to print this out in color. When Nikki went to her first business meeting, I made sure she had this printed front and back. Remember, this is a business, folks, so invest a little bit, go to Kinko's, print this in color, front and back, get it laminated, and have 5 of these at your PBR so that people can see what it is, the products and services we have. And you get it back from them, you put it back in your folder, and you go to your next PBR. All right, so this document and this document front and back are 2 things you're definitely going to need for your PBR. All right, but the 1 through 10 presentation with the video, I've actually downloaded. I've downloaded the presentation without the video in a PowerPoint that's in the training docs. And then there also is a video that's on I'll send you the link to the video. It actually is on the FES opportunity page. There's many videos you can share, but if you don't have time to do a video and you don't have your laptop with you and all you have is these pieces of paper, then you're going to be head and shoulders above the rest, right? So just wanted to point that out. All right, so when you're doing your 1 through 10, you want to spend exactly 1 minute or less on each of these boxes, because you don't want to have people falling asleep at 7:30 at night, right? So go through your presentation. If you got to talk to your cat, go through this presentation. Your house plant, Sonia, the one that's dying, go through your presentation, get through each of these boxes, 1 through 10, in 1 minute. Practice, videotape yourself. I don't care what you got to do. Practice it, do it, all right? The third thing is you want to sort your attendees. So after you've introduced yourself and you've edified your expert and you've gone that, then you want to make sure that you go through the 1 through 10. Then you want to do your, you want to sort who's there, right? So you'll say, okay, who, just by a show of hands, right? Who's interested in just getting their credit repaired and wants to understand more about what our business can do for your credit? 3 people will raise their hand, 1 person, right? Nobody will raise their hand. Then you go into, all right, so the video is the overview. So Sonia, there's actually several videos, and I'm going to share where you can find the videos. I'll do screenshots of where you can find the videos, because there are videos, but when you're doing a PBR, sometimes you won't have a video. Sometimes you will, right? You're welcome. So I'll make sure that I have those, and I'll put those in a document in the Google Drive. All right, so then you go, who wants to be a client, who wants to be an agent, right? Then you always need to be, because this is a business, you always want to be thinking about what the next event is. So it may not be your event, it may be an event in the city, or it may be an event that one of your partners is having. It may be an event, whatever the next event is related to FES, you want to make sure you know what those events are and share that as part of your presentation at your PBR. It could be that you determine to yourself for the next 3 months, you are doing every single Tuesday night at Dunkin' Donuts, whether anybody shows up or not. So you literally put your butt at Dunkin' Donuts and you wait for people to show up. And if they don't show up, you prospect from Dunkin' Donuts. Literally, you're doing your prospecting from Dunkin' Donuts. It could be Saturday morning. It could be Saturday afternoon. Whatever it is, you need to have in your mind, because you're a business, and those of you in business know you have these standing meetings. Make a standing meeting with yourself and whoever shows up to go through your business. Whether you're doing a presentation or whether you're prospecting, you need to have that in your brain. Tuesday at 7, all I'm doing is talking FES for an hour. Whether you're talking to yourself, somebody on video, whatever, all right? That's your next event. And then the close happens while you're doing your event, right? So as soon as you go through, say you're going through the Strive for 5, which is box number 5, you're going to say, did that make sense to everyone? Does everyone see the value, right? That's closing as you go along. Does everyone see the value in bringing 5 people in and getting your services for free, right? What about the power of Strive for 5. You go from $750 a month to $75,000 a month by just following, bring in 5, help them get 5, help them get 5. You do that 3 times, you're talking incremental income, and everyone should be able to see, everyone understands this. You just have to put it in terms of FES, and that's what this box does. So as you're going through your presentation, you don't just do it at the end. Every time you go through to a topic, you want to make sure they're hearing you, make sure they're understanding you, right? And answer questions as you go along. But you're always saying, what did you like the most about the compensation plan? Oh yeah, you're looking to grow your retirement? Well, let's talk about the FES R&R Club, right? Listen for the cues. The retirement, the R&R Club. Could you use a car payment paid for by the company? What about a second car paid for by the company? What about some cash, right? What about more cash? What about a Bentley? What about a house payment? What about, right? So this, as you're going through your 1 through 10, you need to be making sure you get consensus and they're understanding what you're asking. All right. Do you see an opportunity for yourself? If it's just for getting your credit fixed, great. If it's just for being an agent, great. And getting your credit fixed. Are you ready to start today? Right. This is an important question that you ask every time you talk to somebody. Every time you get through your script or your presentation, you literally say, are you ready to start today? Or you can say, what credit card are you going to use to start with today? Do not get off the phone without asking, are you ready to start today? Because you'd be surprised who is literally waiting for the opportunity to start today. If you never ask, you'll never know. It's just like when you're at the bar and they come over when your drink is halfway full and they're like, want another one? And you're like, no, I got half a drink. But if they didn't ask, you wouldn't even be thinking about it. Very often I'm like, oh yeah, I need another one, child. It's been a hard day. Bring me 2. Everyone does that. Am I lying? Every one of us has ordered another drink when we already had one half full. Every one of us. So ask the question, please. When you're on a 3-way call, those who you're on a 3-way call with will always say, are you ready to start today? Great. Cappy C is going to take your information as soon as I drop off the call, right? Every call. So make sure you ask who's ready to start. And then at the end of your conversation, you want to make sure that you're returning your guest to who invited them to the Q&A. So if this is your PBR and you have other people there, you want to make sure you say, look, I know, Sonia invited you because you're in Toledo and I'm here. This is my PBR, but make sure that you get back to Sonia with your questions, right? But if they want to sign up today, you need to call Sonia and say, hey, Sonia, right? Jessica is here today. She's ready to get started. You got a moment? All right, Jessica, can you call Sonia right now? Or Sonia, Jessica's about to go get in her car, give y'all some privacy, get the sign up done. But you got to ask for it because they don't know. All right, and then you go to your agent and client signups. Questions about the order of business? Where we gone so far with the PBR? I'm going to send these out to you, by the way, so if you're making notes, that's fine, but I'll also send it to you. I see you over there, Cap. All right, a couple of things about hosting. Never, ever cancel. If everyone in your meeting cancels, you don't. Period. Like I said, you show up, put your butt in the seat, and you sit there and you do your prospects or your follow-ups. But this is what I mean. It has to, when you have a stand-up at work, you shouldn't cancel it. People do cancel meetings, but a PBR is your paycheck. This right here is your money. I just now said $75,000 a month. There are people making that and much more in our organization. So if you cancel, the one person that showed up won't have an opportunity to sign up. So don't cancel. Just use that as time for you to get your business taken care of. Go through your presentation, right? Have your presentation ready. Have your sign-up sheets, document pass-arounds ready, cards, your applications, simple refreshments, no alcohol, right? So if you're at your house or somebody else's house, go to Sam's Club, get a flat of chips or a big bag of chips and a bowl, take that, right? Get a flat of water, take that, right? Get there early, set up your refreshments, a thing of fruit, whatever you want to do. This is a business. It's an opportunity business. It's an opportunity. And so again, you're always training. So a client that signs up today knows, oh, she's serious. This is actually a business for her. right? An agent who signs up today is like, oh, I need to make sure I'm looking around. Okay, I need to, right? This is the duplication part. So make sure you're always preparing to get someone ready for their PBR. That's what this is all about. Music and big positive energy. Don't go in there like, shh, my everything hurting. I'm tired, my knee hurt. I know y'all here, but you know. No, this is like, are y'all ready? I wish I had videotaped like the opening of Saturday so y'all could, and that's why y'all need to go to one. So y'all can get, the music was loud, it was almost too loud. But it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be energetic. It's supposed to be, hey, come in, good morning, welcome. Come on in, welcome, yes. Get yourself a cup of coffee, come join me. Oh, you brought somebody? Great. You know, get the energy going, get the blood flowing, because you're gonna be energized and who you're working with is gonna be energized too. Now, what you don't wanna say is when you're doing your opening, this is something we really hope you'll like. We really think you're gonna like this. No. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. And if you got to get your Alyssa on the phone to tell you about her last paycheck yesterday, get her on the phone, because this is a life-changing opportunity, and it's yours. You can do it. It's for you. So make sure you don't lose track of the fact that this truly is life-changing. When you get to about a month in and you get, or 6 weeks in and you get that first, you know, $600, $700 commission check, then you'll start seeing how incrementally what used to be $100 a week turns into a $700 a week, turns into a $1,000 week by week by week, you're growing your business. It will happen. My paycheck yesterday was a few dollars less than $1,000 in 6 weeks. So when I tell you it will happen, it will happen. And when I talk to Alyssa, she remembers her first $1,000 paycheck. Hey, pretty girl. So just make sure you're doing that. New agents' mindset matters. When you're talking to new agents, make sure that they are they're understanding that this is a business and it's going to take time. This is not a 3-week business. This is a 3 to 5 year business. And if you work it, it gets easier, right? It gets more fluid. The first couple of weeks I was tired. I'm still a little tired because I got a whole team now. But the point is that you have to get your mindset together. You have to think about this as your next level. Don't think about it as just replacing your income. Think about it as quadrupling your income. And everybody around you can get paid too, right? So when you're talking to new agents, if they're like, yeah, you know, I don't know, that's not an agent, that's a client. Right? If they've never owned a business or they've never worked for themselves, you need to make sure that when you're bringing them in, they're going to be ready to copy paste the way you copy paste, that they get up early and they do their first copy paste, and then they start flowing with their business. So talk to people, interview them, right? A couple weeks ago, Chanel had somebody who was not a good agent. I had her send him a thanks but no thanks letter. Bye-bye. You're not for us. Let me know if we can help you in the future. That, by the way, that thanks but no thanks letter is in my Google Drive. So if you talk to somebody who, you know, is not right for your business, thank them for their time. Where is it? Thank them for their time and get off the phone with them, right? It's in here someplace I think it's under training docs. No, it's in here someplace. It's called a thanks but no thanks. I wrote this for Chanel. She had a crazy call with somebody, a crazy 3-way call, and I wrote this and she sent it to him. Bye-bye, right? You're not right for our business. We thank you for the time, but no thank you, right? Remember, this is a business. Somebody told me I was a scammer last night and I said, thank you for your time. Here's our Better Business Bureau page. Please feel free to check out the reviews. Like, keep it moving, right? Work from anywhere tips, a couple things you're going to want to do. You're going to want to figure out, and I did a meeting on this, a webinar on this the other day, automated postings and pass-through postings. There is a couple of automation tools. One is called Grow Social and one is called Hootsuite, where you can automate your posting. So on Sunday, you can set up, or any day, you can take an hour and set up a whole week's full of postings. Sorry, my phone is going crazy right now. a whole week full of postings at one time. So you can just set it up 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever you want to do. Hootsuite and Grow Social will do those for you. There's also a couple of mobility tools I'll recommend because here in Georgia, you can't even touch your phone for more than 1 second. If you are on the phone and you touch it, you're going to go to jail. They'll actually write you a ticket, and several tickets, you go to jail. So this is one of the things I have in my car to hold my phone. There's many different types of these. Please get one. It's going to be important that you do, right? Another mobility tool is a wireless Bluetooth speaker. If you're on a conference call in your car, your your phone speaker may not work, your car speaker may not work, but if you have something like this, it's $20. Put it on your clip, put on your visor, and now you've got Bluetooth speakerphone in your car, right? Don't rely on the technology in your car to sell your business. Another thing you might want to do is you can use a display, a cable to connect your cell phone to your TV, or you can get a mini projector if you're going to someone's house. Look up these things. Again, you're investing in your business. By the way, since you are in business for yourself, everything I just pointed out is tax deductible. So make sure you have a separate folder in your Google Drive. Scan all your receipts, take a picture, put it in the Google Drive. If you use QuickBooks, you can use Intuit Self-Employed, but if nothing else, make sure you just scan your receipts. Everything you purchase or spend money on for your business, make sure you save those in a separate document. You will forget in April what you did in October. So just save it off and save that for your tax deductions. All right. We have 2 minutes left. I'm going to stop the recording at 2 minutes, but I'm going to answer any questions you have, any clarifications you need. Let's get it popping. Unmute yourself. Let's go.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
So this morning, as far as that list that Jennifer put up to be sales director, and then
Yes.
of course we're in a new month. So do I need new agents to do that with, or will I still continue to build with my existing agent?
So somewhat obviously, and that's one of the things they talked about on the Saturday, you always better bring new people into your business. You don't want to just, have the same people, right? The whole purpose of this is to get new business. And by the way, the overrides and that sort of stuff, really new agents is where you get, your big money. So you want to bring new agents into the business. However, if you currently have agents on your team, like you're on mine, I want you to look at that and execute that for you. And I want you to do the same for yours. So no, start today. I don't care if you've been in the business 6 months. If you're not a sales director, that's your game plan. So absolutely, everyone should be doing that.